What up, bro? And he left. Hey, uh, what's up? I don't, uh, I don't really know what I want to talk about or whatever. My winter's good. It's, I mean, it just started, but it's cool so far. Literally. Uh, but no, it's, it's beautiful outside so far. Uh, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I'm getting a job soon. Like, not an internship or, like I mean, like an actual job, you know? Yeah, I'll go live for a second. Fixing this thing. Okay.
Yo,
Hey,
what's good, Joseph?
what's up?
How you been?
I'm good. Damn, you grew a beard.
No shit.
Looking
Yeah,
like
I remember
Walter.
when I was looking through your sagas and one of them had it. Yeah, that shit was funny.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you didn't do one on me.
I didn't have that much on you.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
only had that one picture.
yeah, yeah. Hey, you still looking good, huh?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's starting to look like the Walter White almost, the
Oh
beard.
God,
Like late season 5 Walter White.
damn. Still haven't changed a bit.
And lucky you. I'm
And,
just barely growing a beard.
oh boy. Started to
Um,
fucking snow. I said I didn't believe it at first. I'm like, holy shit.
yeah, it just all of a sudden.
This is no, because hold on. I'm gonna go downstairs. But like I'm saying, this is just the beginning.
Yeah,
I said, fuck this, this ain't gonna snow that bad. So, cause tomorrow at work, my stupid internship at the stupid school game, well fuck them. Forget about it. That we were supposed to have a meeting tomorrow regarding food. Um, like we were gonna have like a good food, like halal type shit.
yeah.
And so
That
I
sounds
guess
fun.
like that's not the case.
Damn.
Yeah.
That stinks.
Yeah, I know. So, so what have you been up to?
Not
I
much.
heard the news. You got another job offer, and I got jack shit.
Yeah, I mean, I tried getting into like I tried doing the food universe near me, but
Right.
they weren't
Nah.
hiring. And
Right.
now I'm trying this other place called Marino's. It's like a mini supermarket.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully they're hiring.
How's fam?
They're good. They're well, actually, my grandma's here living here for a bit.
Uh,
She she had like an operation and
oh
she
shit.
moved.
Look, I
Yeah,
remember like it was yesterday. Me and you, we were kids.
yeah.
I tell
No,
you, we did some crazy shit.
that's right. Now we're adults,
Oh shit. I
pretty
remember
much.
in school we used to walk around the hallways. Holy shit, everyone had to chase us. I remember oh, that's gonna be the most funniest moments in school when you think about it. When Adam was running around the hallways,
Yeah, I remember that.
but
Yeah,
Maria tried to chase him.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
oh,
It
Stephanie's
was
here.
fun.
Surprise.
What up,
My
Stephanie?
bestie is on. Well, I think she left.
Yeah. Every time I go live,
Yeah, my group chat is gonna call me, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pick this up, and then I'll try and get on, back on your live, or you can call me whenever. You know what I'm saying?
all right.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'll be
all right,
around.
yeah, bet. All right, later, Joseph.
Bye bye. Nice seeing you. Wasn't you know I don't always you know expect to see certain people. It's good to have surprises once in a while. Uh, fucking hell. Uh, yeah, yeah. Anyway, it's what was I saying? Uh, I don't know. When it's winter or when it's like beautiful outside to like or to be outside or I like to talk about stuff and reflect on things and because I feel like I don't do that enough at times. Um, yeah, my I guess with my grandma, um, sh yeah, she I don't know exactly what happened. Like my parents do, but I'm just here to help and everything. Um, yeah, she went through like I think she had like a piece of cancer or something inside her, and she had to get like fuck off. She had to get like radiation or something. I don't know how it works, but like she's doing good, pretty good now. She's still like feeling drowsy, and they had to bring a hospital bed to our house and put it in one of our rooms, you know. And so at times she has to she has to be on oxygen and everything, and but thankfully my parents, and my uncle who lives here as well, and my cousins who show up, like they all they're all great help and everything. Uh, and I do my best as well. Yeah, it's the snow's crazy. came, out of nowhere pretty much. Anyway, yeah, the and I mean, I don't know what any of you guys think of like your parents or anything, or and if you're not in a great relationship with them, then that's I mean, I'm sorry for you. I wish you the best, but I'm at the same time I'm hella thankful for my parents. You know, they like they're so nice in like the best way. Like my uncle and grandma, they live in our basement, so it's like, and yeah, they've been kind enough to lend them some space, and for who knows how long by this point. Um, and before that, just before grandma and my uncle moved in, it was just uh, it was just one of my other cousins named Bobby, and it's like I feel like with my house and with my parents and everything, I feel like we're one of the go-to families or households or whatever to do fun stuff with and to hang out or in need of if someone's in need of help. I feel like my parents are always there to help, and you know like a lot of the times when I hang out with my friends from school, we usually hang out at my house, or uh at times I've hung out at Jason's house and some other people, or not really. Also Zach's house too, but usually when I go to his house, it's just and yeah, it's but I feel like yeah, my parents they're so great, and obviously they're the reason I'm here, and it's like I'm not just proud about being here because of them, like I'm mostly proud because of the way I am because of them. Like, and obviously, well, actually, that ties into what my parents have done for me. Like, some parents are just very controlling and everything, and they, you know, like they're the parents, and they feel empowered to do stuff to almost any extent at times, and but my parents aren't like that. They're and they're not super like just they're not very nonchalant about everything. Like they know what's good for me. They know if I'm like if I need to talk, like they're always like a great option to sit down and talk to. uh they're always obviously they're always here because they're my parents and I live with them so far. But besides that, like just because you're around someone all the time doesn't mean that you should be with them or be around them. They may not be the best influence for you or to other people around you or just in general. but my parents, and for a lot of people this is a given, but my parents are amazing people, and I'm glad to have them. And yeah, I feel like the way I am today, like, I mean, obviously there's been a lot of things that help me decide what I want to do and etc. But there's this one situation where I was at this family reunion on my dad's side, and I was sitting outside right by the lake in the middle of the night, and it was I posted a picture of the lake. If you like, I'm not asking you to look for it or anything. Just if you want to know what I'm talking about, then like, I have a picture of it posted in case you want to get an idea of what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, I was at that place, or I was sitting by that lake, like on that side of the lake from where I took the picture. I was sitting on one of those, beach chairs that you do when you want to dry off in the sun or whatever. And I was just looking out at the lake, and eventually my parents came over, and my brothers came over as well with their friends and cousins. And I just wanted to sit there for a while just to look at it, look at you know, the view and the sky as well. Like there weren't too many lights on, so the stars in the sky were very visible. You know, uh, but yeah, eventually, while I was still sitting there, and eventually, my what's it called? My brothers and friends, cousins, they all went off to play somewhere inside the big lodge to like get some food or whatever, and it was just me and my mom sitting there, you know, and it was we had like a little, or not a little conversation, quite an interesting one, and I feel like because of that place where I was sitting, and because of my mom being there, I felt like that very moment helped me like progress me in my life to help me figure out who I am and what I want to be, and or not really that, more just like how my mindset is, or how I want to you know think, you know but anyway, we were talking, and I brought up the I brought up the what it's like to or what's it called? I brought up life and death to be sim- simplify it. And with that, I mean, I wasn't feeling, suicidal or anything. It was nothing like that. Um, I We were talking about what it may or may not be like when we die. Um, and because of that, well, to go more into detail, um, we I was telling my mom how I see it, and how I I told her that, you know, if we did go to heaven, then like I brought up the point of like why would we go to heaven if why would we need to go to heaven to get whatever we want when that's possible to do now, you know? Obviously, it would take a lot of time to do whatever we want, but in reality, like people say anything's possible, and some people say not everything's possible, but honestly, like the world works in many weird ways that we don't know of, and excuse me, um, the world works in ways that we can't even imagine or comprehend, and with that, it's like who knows how who knows how things can end up like years later or decades or centuries later. Like I feel like anything is possible. Just because it hasn't happened or won't happen doesn't mean that it it can't happen or couldn't happen, you know? Like there was a chance for it to happen, and now, and it didn't, but it still could have. I know what I'm saying is a little confusing, but you know, but anyway, with the what I was me and my mom were talking about, like, and I've went more into detail with this before. Um, it's like if we did go to heaven, you know, we it wouldn't be the same. Like, let's say you can do anything you want in heaven, you know, like if you wanted to spawn a a cheeseburger or whatever. Like, sure, you could do that. You could make it, as delicious as you want because, you're in heaven. You can do whatever you want. But with, in real life, it's not, it just, it's not the same as when you do it in real life because in heaven, it's just, it's easy as that. It's just so simple. And yeah, you can think whatever you want. You can, like, if you're in heaven, you can wish that you felt like you were living life and it wouldn't matter to you because you wouldn't know by that point. But at the same time, you made a wish to make it seem like you're living life. And if you make a wish to feel like you're living life even though you're not and you're in heaven, like it's just not the same as living it as you were given the chance to its fullest. If you ask me, like, I never want to die. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but yeah, I don't want to die ever because if the universe is infinite or there's infinite universes, like I want to discover everything. I want to, if there is an everything, if there's a limit, or if, you know, which I don't believe personally, because why would there be so many things in this world if it all will just come to an end? If it all just, if there's a possibility to know everything, like how with infinity, the number, it's yeah, it's a number, and it's apparently the highest number, whatever that means. But to like it's a number that exists, but it's just impossible to count to. And yeah, you know, it's the same thing with life as far as we know. There's infinite places or beings or people, like, you know, why like what's wrong with wanting to have so many discoveries and everything? And with what's it called? This is a random thing with men, with their sperm. Like when people have babies, and the guy, you know the whenever that happens, some random sperm cell or whatever goes, into the vagina and everything. But who, like, they say men constantly reproduce sperm whenever they, get rid of it, or, you know, so it's like that also means that there are infinite, like, people, like anyone that has, uh I've heard this in a quote from Neil deGrasse Tyson. uh he says that, like, 99% or whatever high number percent of people that can be born won't be born, because, like I said, people are constantly reproducing sperm, or men are, and you know basically when men ejaculate, like, we don't choose what specific thing of sperm comes out, it's random. It's like, you know what if we, constantly just, anyway, you get the point. Actually, I have something to show you. It's a it's a recording on my older phone. It's it goes like, I have two recordings on it. Uh One of them is 8 minutes about, and then the other is like 30 minutes. The second one's 30 minutes. And I basically go a little more in depth about what I'm talking about now, with the sperm and everything, and life and death, heaven and hell, all that. Sorry, I had the hiccups. Um, yeah. I'm gonna get my phone real quick, just so in case you guys want to hear it. Hopefully, it's charged. Uh, Damn it, it's not charged. I'm fuck. I'm just gonna charge it quick. Or I mean I could play it while it's charging, but then I'd have to, move the phone closer to the phone that where it's charging away from the window because right now my phone has a good view of outside. Um, I mean, uh, it's. I mean, I could probably like do something else. Uh, what's it called? I could always just get a picture on the computer or whatever, put it up on there. I could always point it at something on my wall or or my light or whatever. Wherever. I could always put it back. It's fine. Yeah. I didn't put it towards this window because it has the blind or whatever. So I put it on the one right above it where it doesn't have the thing that stops, bugs and shit. Turn the light on. Okay. I'm uh I'm just gonna stand it somewhere. Maybe right here. Here. Um Come on. Alright. And that's not that good. Right here. Is that is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. It's whatever. I'm just I'm gonna play the video, I guess. Uh, like I said, the first one's about 8.5 minutes. The second one's about 30 minutes. I hope you guys don't uh mind that. Let me try to find them. Um, Quarter list. Okay, I found them. All right, the first one is 8 minutes 43 seconds, and the second one's 30 minutes 43 seconds. Let me just put it on the volume. Uh, Actually, let me put my phone closer so you could hear it. You guys could hear it better. Um, Let me just put it here, and then I'll put this guy right here, so you have something to look at. Okay. Let me just get some gum. I'm not gonna be talking over this. I want you guys to hear it. I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna, talk over it. I'm just gonna let it play. Uh, I'll talk about them in between. All right, here's the first one. 8 minutes. Hello. I would just like to start off this by saying that life is arguably the most important thing ever, especially to me and other people. But I'm saying that because that most people who have the chance to be born aren't going to be born. And that all has to do with, sperm, what specific sperm gets, the process. Anyway, men constantly reproduce sperm, or whatever the term is. They're constantly reproducing it to get new sperm. And basically, that means that there's like 1 in a billion or trillion or whatever chance of every person that was born to be picked or to be born out of all the infinite number of sperm cells that were never, gone through the process of, being birthed. And the fact that some people don't end up wanting to live, take the opportunity to make the most of it, is really upsetting. Imagine like your parents, they, wanted to have a child, all that, blah blah blah, and they have a child, and then that child ends up not enjoying life, but they went through all of that. The mother went through 9 months of being pregnant just for things to end up badly for the kid anyway. When there could have been many other sperm cells to, develop and become a child that didn't feel the way that child felt. Just imagine that. It's like, why do those people, or it's so weird how certain, I don't know, it's completely random, obviously, but at the same time, like, it is unfair. But for me, I'm super thankful for being alive, and I wish I could never die. That's obviously something for another time to talk about. But yeah, what I'm trying to say here is basically just make the most out of life. Don't, if you feel like the end is near, like you're at an old age or whatever, like don't give up, because even if you're on your deathbed, even if you develop AIDS or get cancer or something, just do something. Fight. Go out fighting. Not because people don't want that. Obviously, you are you, and you make the choices that you want to make throughout your life. But you gotta also think about what other people are gonna think about you. And basically, some people are just, don't care about anyone but themselves, or some people care about other people more than themselves, like by a lot, like a dangerous amount even. But even that is better than just, giving up, letting your life be, for granted, like, oh well, time this is it. Like, no, you shouldn't think like that. I mean, it's just obviously it's just my opinion, and you can do whatever you want. Obviously, you should always, you know, think about the consequences of your actions. But at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want. It's like, why would you be given these choices? Why would you think? It's not like people are always like, I must do this, I must do this, and etc. No, they're also thinking, oh, I can't do that, or I shouldn't do that, or I'm tempted to do that, but I can't. It's like, why would we have, excuse me, why would we have those thoughts in our heads if we just don't end up doing them anyway? Or don't we? That's the thing. But really, at the end of the day, it's what I was saying about not giving up, trying to make the most. That's just the way I see it. That's just the way I live. And that's the way I will live from now on. I just hope that anyone who listens to this can. I'm not asking you to agree. I'm just asking you to at least understand. If I ever got you to agree to what I'm saying, that would just be a bonus. But really, all I want is for you to understand that I think, as far as we know, resurrection is impossible, and it probably always will. But until that day, like, I mean, never purposely kill yourself or have someone kill you or kill someone else, knowing that, oh, they could be brought back, or no, it's not really the end. Like, no, to me, that's a terrible mindset. You shouldn't think like that. But yeah, like I said, your choice, your life. But no, that's all right. I'm just gonna stop here. That was the first recording I did. It's a little confusing for some people, I imagine. It's you know, I mean, it's it talks about, actually, maybe for like another live stream or whatever, I'll, I'll probably do another fuck. My phone's dying. I'll probably do another uh I'll probably do like a breakdown of those of the videos, you know? Um but yeah, that was the first one. The second one I'll I'll try and play it. This this phone hasn't charged a long time, so it probably won't last that long, but I'll uh I'll see what I'll see how far it can get, I guess. I'm just gonna put my phone like right. Then I'll put this right here. That way you have something to look at, hopefully. And yeah, I'll hopefully my other phone doesn't die. And three, two, one, bam.
Hello. I would just like to pick up on where I left out last time. And I was talking about how no one should take life for granted. Everyone should live to their fullest extent and beyond. And, partially where I got this idea is from, or actually, no, um, it wasn't this idea. It was the fact that most people who could be born aren't. That idea I got from somewhere else. That was from Neil deGrasse Tyson. He said it on an interview with someone, which is really smart. And, didn't know how I didn't think of that before. But yeah, it's super smart, and I agree with it 100%. What I'd like to talk about in this is that the part where I said I want to live forever, which is, a very controversial thing to say, or a very controversial mindset, or, excuse me, etc. You know, but, and by the way, I completely understand why you wouldn't like it, or I understand why, you wouldn't want to live forever, because, if you live forever, I mean, who knows what's going to happen, but, like, a lot of people say when you live forever, you lose all the people you know and love, because they don't live forever. You're just surrounded by death, and if you live forever, then eventually you might just get used to it and desensitized by it, which sounds awful, I know. But with me, it's like, yeah, obviously, I'm not, it's obviously a very, it would be tough for me, especially at the beginning. But really what I want to live forever for is to, like, people, and who knows how many other species there are, all of them, and I mean all of them, are discovering something new, are always constantly evolving, or evolving's a, questionable term, because really all we do is adapt. Just because we adapt to the environment of Earth doesn't mean we're necessarily evolving. Like, you could say that we've evolved in intelligence, but we've become physically weaker and all that, and a lot of that stuff. But anyway, I was saying that, yeah, every species in the world is always evolving, either at a very fast or slow pace. And it fascinating because if we're constantly evolving, and then that means there's way more possibilities for things to happen and things to discover. And the fact that every quote-unquote generation of species of us there are, if you think about it, all we're really doing is setting up our lives for our descendants. Like for example, there's a theory that all life on Earth started from a single cell that somehow appeared out of nowhere or whatever. And they say how even more life was on Earth was from that single cell constantly splitting into more cells. And those cells that were split from that cell were also splitting. And, eventually some of those other cells started combining to make new cells, etc., etc., etc. And then new species, way more diverse, and that's also why that's why we believe that all life came from the ocean, from that single cell. Because we believe that if Earth was really a molten rock, a giant molten rock from, and then eventually there was life on it somehow. Like, humans also believe that life came from the water. And if you're wondering where the water came from, it's from the comets that hit Earth. And comets typically are made of ice. And the hot temperatures melted the ice, which is an incredible amount to make up the oceans. Or at least that's what we believe. If you think about it, like who knows where those, let's say we did originate as a water species from those comets, or like where did those comets come from? Are we technically aliens? And if every single living being came from that single cell, does that mean all life on Earth is related? Because that means, that's exactly what it would mean if that were true, but we don't know for sure. But anyway, that's a little off track, but what was I talking about? I was talking about how we're constantly evolving and discovering new stuff, and that's it. That's what I want to get into. And this also has to relate to dying, and going to heaven or hell or wherever you go. Me personally, I believe that either we're just stuck in complete darkness, like we're just complete, as if we were just deleted from the world, or our bodies die, but our minds are conscious, not like our brain, like our our essence, our, life force, or whatever. It sounds super corny, but our consciousness survives somehow, and we're just trapped in our imagination. And the only thing we have left is what we remember. But that's just what I, believe. That's what I, that or the complete darkness thing. Those are the two things I would say are most likely to happen when we die, but who knows? But yeah, even if, you do go to your imagination when you die, and what I'm about to say completely goes against, being in total darkness forever, I'm going to take that out of the equation for now. Let's say we do die, and we end up in our imagination forever, our conscious, or heaven or hell, whatever. Let's say we end up in one of those places, and I believe that, if we ever did get to heaven or hell, would we learn anything new? Or if we did, what would that be? Would we be able to get the answers that we've been asking ourselves? When we die, do we get all the answers to life? Or do we just go to that place and bring all the memories we have with us? And if we did go to heaven, hell, or our imagination, would it look a certain way, or would it just look how we imagine it? Because everyone's different, and it's most likely everyone, if we did end up somewhere, we'd obviously react different ways, so we might as well, if we went to heaven, then we might as well try to imagine the best thing we could think of. But if that's true, if we did get to do that, why would we be given that freedom? What would being there do for us? Because we'd be dead, and we'd be there, but would it actually be meaningful, or is there any way to go on from there? Because it sounds like it could either be purgatory or just paradise. Who knows? Or what if when we die, our consciousness, aka our imagination, heaven, hell, or whatever, what if that is just another dimension? And that dimension isn't a physical realm. It's a conscious mental realm that we, I don't know. It would either all be the same to every person and every living being that dies, or it would be completely different to everyone. Or that's at least how I imagined it. But let's say that we did go to heaven or hell. Let's take imagination out of the equation for now. Let's just focus on heaven and hell. Let's say we went to one of those places. Why would we be there? Let's say I went to hell. Why would I be there? What would I have done to make myself there? And To be honest, it's a good question, and it's definitely something to look into. But me personally, I don't think that's what it's about. I think it has to do with the way if you're filled with regret, for example, or anger, or shame, self-shame, like, if like you hate yourself, then that's when you would go to hell, if it existed, or that's the way I would picture it if I believed in it. But so yeah, or let's say I went to heaven. Let's say I did a bunch of good stuff. I am proud of those things. That's how at least I would try to think of it and try to be before I die. And let's say that happens. Like, what if all the good stuff that I imagined throughout that quote unquote good life I lived was made up from all those memories, mostly good memories, and vice versa with, hell, except with bad memories and stuff, or whatever. But imagine, and this is where I bring it around, like, to what I was talking about before. Imagine that I'm bringing it to the part where I mentioned how we're constantly evolving. Imagine we never die, or we just live for as long as we want and then die when we feel like it, or we live for a very, very long extended period of time. Like, let's say every human or species live for, I don't know, 200,000 years. Like, that may sound bad, but if everyone lived that long, it wouldn't feel any different. I mean, it depends, obviously. That's like a huge difference to the lifespan of a human or any other species now. But for us, if everyone lived that long, it would be the norm. Everyone would be, that would just be normal to people. But does living longer or shorter help? Like, I mean, obviously, I imagine living longer or shorter would be detrimental to some people. Some people would enjoy one or the other, or who knows, really. But let's say we do go to heaven and hell. Once again, this next part includes evolution, heaven and hell, and imagination. Let's say that when we die, we go to one of those places, and let's say what we see when we die is all the memories we've made throughout, and how we can change them, or what possible amalgamations of conscious or physical beings or things we can come up with, like what we can possibly comprehend. Like, let's just say all of that is there in whatever state we're in. Let's say that whatever, like let's say I tripped and fell over let's say I slipped on a banana peel. To me, that's something I'll probably remember. And let's say that memory gets carried to when I die. That it gets carried with me in my conscious, in my memory when I die. The only reason I would think it would be carried on is because it happened. If I didn't slip on that banana peel, that memory wouldn't be with me. I wouldn't even be thinking of it. Or let's say we only go to heaven, hell, or our imagination with the memories we remember. And this will be quite scary, to be honest. Like, what if we went to one of those places and we would constantly try to remember as much as possible before we start to forget? Like, what if there's a time limit to when we would just forget everything and we would just be stuck, and it would eventually turn into nothingness, whatever that is. Like, anyway, yeah, nothingness, the concept of nothingness is another topic for another time. But another thing is the purpose, or the reasons why or why not to live forever. Like, some of you are probably listening and are thinking, oh, if you live forever, oh, you're mentioning all of these things that might happen when we die, but what would be the point of thinking about that if you'd live forever? And yes, I agree, that is something that is, it may seem quite pointless, but, it's another thing where it's like life, some people make it out to be all black and white, or you can't have this without that, and which I don't fully believe in, like, or at least not with everything. It's like, just because let's say we do live forever, that doesn't mean we don't think about death. Like, or don't have to think about, or shouldn't, or, whatever. If we live forever, honestly, if we live forever, I feel like we would talk about death more. Because if everyone lived forever, then we'd probably be more curious to, find out what death is like. Because no one has done it, and no one, it's not like people who die can let us know what death is like anyway. But, since if everyone lived forever, people would probably be more curious, or at least I would. But yeah, and I'm also thinking, like, it goes back to discovering and evolution. Like, let's say we don't live forever. Like, some people, that's fine. To me, not really. Like, I know it's gonna happen, and if it does happen, then, oh well, it happens. That's what would be going through my mind before I die, pretty much. But with memories, it's like, you know, what would heaven, hell, or your imagination be without the memories you make? Like, yeah, let's say you pass away somehow and you didn't live your life to the fullest. What would you really be bringing with you to those places if you didn't live your life to the fullest? To me personally, like, the way people describe death or what comes after it, like where we end up, it all sounds just like either paradise, purgatory, sorry, and or some recollection state, except where it's infinite, and who knows, maybe we'll get the answers to everything we'd ever need, and, our minds would be able to comprehend it, but anyway, I don't need to die to recollect on all the things I've experienced and all the people I've met and all the places I've been and want to be and all the things I want to do and etc. It's just like I already know how to do that. I love nostalgia. I love being, going through old pictures and everything of, I love doing that, and it sucks that people, because all this build up in life, like you constantly discover new things, even at old age, or quote unquote old, compared, we only call it old age because that's the extent we can, we're not used to, most people don't live past 100, and that's normal, but, like, we're constantly evolving, discovering things, and, it's like, what's the point of doing all that just to have it taken away from you when you die? Sure, maybe you bring those memories with you, but it would never be the same, because all you're doing, essentially, from what I am, the way I'm thinking of it, all it sounds like you're doing is recollecting. All it sounds like you're doing is going through what you've already done, and maybe after death there's some sort of new things to discover, but that's the thing, we don't know that. And when people die, like, they don't come back. People don't get resurrected. Once you die, you die. And I would not want to take that risk for, if I could live forever and constantly discover new things, discover new people, give everyone I ever know and love a proper goodbye, like, that would be the greatest thing. If I lived forever, I would give everyone a proper goodbye, a proper burial, etc. But to risk it all, to die, would be risking losing everything you lived for, you lived around, you lived with. Like, let's say you just lose it all. Or maybe you don't, but that's the thing, we don't know. And why would you want to risk it if you can't take it back? If you wanted to take it back, you wouldn't be able to, because you'd be dead. And as far as we know, resurrection is impossible. It's just insane to me. because there's so many stars, galaxies, and the universe is infinite. And imagine there being like multiple universes, and maybe outside of the universes there's something even larger, etc. Like space, as far as we know it, has no boundaries, as far as we know. And the possibility to discover, like, what if maybe in life, maybe there is a extent, and maybe there is a possibility to discover everything. But who knows, maybe in life there's infinite possibilities to discover infinite things, infinite beings, infinite anything. Like, why would you want to lose that to die and not know what comes after? Why would you want to risk that? Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
And that's the second recording. Yeah, some heavy stuff. But yeah, it's I think, yeah, maybe I won't do like a breakdown or whatever of what I said in those recordings, because I mean I feel like I did a pretty good job of explaining myself. Yeah. Excuse me. I guess I'll just see you guys another time. Bye bye.